Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from, and welcome back to another Bitcoin technical analysis. And as Bitcoin continues its climb upwards, I can't help but be bearish in this area as we are approaching upper levels of resistance. So I'm going to be breaking this down today, explaining my thoughts on the price action of Bitcoin and where I believe it's going to be going in the short and midterm future. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video. Do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this, because there is a decent amount of information that we have to break down about the overall, but yet the smaller picture and price action of Bitcoin. So looking at this, there really is a couple of things going on the main candle chart, and then there's really one thing on the RSI that I want to make sure that we point out towards the end here. And I'm sure as I'm highlighting this, you guys probably already know what I'm going to say. But yeah, so as this is approaching upper levels of resistance, I can't help but be too bearish, or I can't help but be a little bit bearish in this area, because of the fact that, you know, we are approaching resistances. It's not like this horrible bearish sentiment, but if you are approaching resistances, you know, the idea is that you are going to become increasingly more bearish. Now, it's possible for us to break out of resistances. However, you generally like to short resistances, long supports. That's, you know, again, you get the best area of value. You can set tight stop loss, and that's just really the way that it works. Seeing what happened over here is that we actually were able to hold this area of our 200 EMA on our 4-hour chart and rally to upwards. Now, the big thing in this area is that we're actually able to break the 50 EMA, and we even pierced through the 382 and broke through the 50% fib retracement as well. So bouncing from this area is pretty significant, because this whole area over here is a significant level of support, and I was talking about this in the Patreon post I just did about my targets about Bitcoin and, you know, where I think it's going, and really what I'm trying to do. And so one of the things that I highlighted in that is that this is a significant area of support, and that when we're looking at this area, we really do need to hold above this, and that's exactly what we did. You know, for the most part, we held our 200 EMA. You had a little bit of piercing candle action over here, a little bit of a fake out, and then this was able to rally towards the upside, as there just was not enough selling pressure in this area. So when this happened, again, this is a pretty bullish thing for Bitcoin. However, the one thing that I just need to keep highlighting for you guys is that we are getting consistently lower highs still. Now, this is actually a break, right? Maybe you can count this as one rally. Maybe you can just count this as a lower high and not a lower swing high. You know, regardless, we really need to break this area around $4,200. This is what we're seeing over here, and we really need to get above, really above this area over there, and then this area over here. And if we can get through both of those, I think we're going to have a whole lot better of a situation for Bitcoin. But in the short term, I think that we are going to pump up here, probably to, you know, one of our resistance levels, and then probably see a little bit of rejection. Now, if we do start seeing rejection, I would be comfortable shorting that area, and again, we'll have to see how that plays out. But I am going to be bearish in this area. Maybe we break through, maybe we get up towards the top of the descending triangle. We'll have to wait and see. But ideally, I would like to see 3 touches on support over here, because if we move this to a 1-day chart, what we can see is that if this is a descending triangle, or excuse me, an ascending triangle, something that I would like to see over here is for us to kind of come, get rejected, and then maybe work our way back down to support, and then really start this rally towards the upside, because that is something I could actually go in and believe with. If we have 3 touches on support and break through on at least 3 or 4 touches on resistance, that would be a classic textbook ascending triangle that I could really rally with towards this bullish breakout. Now, the good news is, if we do break out of here, we're looking at resistance and saying, all right, well, there's not a lot in this area, so if we do break out, it's going to be a, you know, a fun ride, to say the least. You know, at least most likely in the price action of Bitcoin, and, you know, the alts would probably even exceed greater than Bitcoin if that was going to be the case. Now, moving this back over to the 4-hour, the one thing that I wanted to highlight on our indicators is that they're starting to look a little bit bearish as well. Looking at this on the MACD, you're having, let me go ahead and highlight this, you're having, you know, this looks like it could be rounding off here. I guess we can take a look at it on like the 3-hour, or excuse me, not the 3, the 2. And if we see this rounding on a 2-hour, which we do, we can assume that this is going to start rounding off fairly soon on our 4-hour chart as well. So if this does round lower than over here, again, still bearish in this area. Your oscillators are pointing straight up for the time being, so that's not too bad. Seeing just an ever so slightly higher low on those for your MACD. The big thing, I think, for me is your relative strength index, otherwise known as the RSI. And what this is pointing out to me is the fact that you are looking at consistently lower swing highs over here. Again, we saw this over here. We had one swing high, we had two swing highs, and then this dumped. Again, it was a lower, it was a consecutively lower swing high on your RSI. And now I'm looking for a third one over here, a third swing high that's going to actually be a lower high. And if this is the case and this does play out anywhere in this area, I think it'd be a very bearish thing to see on Bitcoin, because what this shows me is that in your your literal relative strength index, if that is showing lower levels of bullish momentum in something that is your strength index, that's not a good thing to see. And so that's how we judge or how I judge these situations. And if I'm seeing that there's lower levels of strength from the bulls consistently, that usually means for me that it's a potential good opportunity to short whatever I'm looking at. So in this case, it is Bitcoin. Now, if this was to happen over here, what I would immediately be looking for is, of course, in this area, seeing, 1, 2, 3, that maybe this thing comes up, hits anywhere in this area. Again, it's just a general area. Maybe it hits, our 70 line, and then it comes back down. Now, the key thing that I'm looking for over here is about somewhere around 30, so that I can actually enter along into this, because what this would be would hopefully make us a higher low. Now, if we get a higher swing low on our RSI, it's the same as double bearish divergence. We inverse that and say that this is actually double bullish divergence, because all this is down here is the opposite of what's happening up here. And so if we can set ourselves up for some sort of double bullish divergence in the future after we have some sort of triple bearish divergence, I think it would set us up for a really, really clean area to short and immediately flip that short into a long eventually if it does get down here. So that's just my plan and what I'm looking at in the price action of Bitcoin. So hopefully this is going to be able to play out. As I did mention earlier, all my targets for this stuff, if I do enter a trade, that's going to be posted in Patreon, and my targets for all of these price actions, and there's a ton of them today, are all posted in Patreon as well. I did, I do Bitcoin and Ethereum updates on there, so it's pretty cool. Besides that, guys, there really is not too much else to talk about. We can look at the stochastics on the 4-hour pointing right up here. Again, possibly setting up for a little bit of bearish divergence again. Seeing as you are having consistently lower swing highs over here. If you do have a lower swing high somewhere in this area, it's probably going to be a bearish thing for me. So yeah, that's going to pretty much wrap up this video. Overall, guys, really the sentiment in this area is, maybe short-term bullish, and then probably bearish again. So I would say probably, again, short-term bullish, mid-term bearish, and then long-term bullish, because this is an ascending triangle. And while this is in this and respecting this, this is a bullish formation and continuation pattern in the overall scale. Now, while we do like to trade these zones, we like to short it, we like to long it, overall, this picture that we're painting on Bitcoin is an overall bullish picture. So I really can't be too angry or too bearish about this and the overall sentiment of cryptocurrency, because the altcoins are doing great. Ethereum's been running, and then now that Ethereum's done running, you had XRP running because of Coinbase, and then now that XRP's done running, you have Litecoin running. So you have all these altcoins that are just driving the market, and it creates a really healthy environment for cryptocurrencies, because not everything's just relying on Bitcoin. You have these altcoins that are actually moving the market and actually paving their own path right now, which is, again, really cool to see. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. With that being said, guys, I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Are we going up? Are we going down? Have we bottomed out here? I want to know your guys' thoughts, so let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video.